Bungie cannot catch a break. Yeah, in the past like 10 months now, Bungie has gone through 2 waves of laying off at least 100 workers. So back in October, they laid off 100 workers. And then just last month, they laid off 220 workers. And some workers also were just flat out moved to PlayStation, which is their parent company now. So that has left a lot of sort of vacancies at Bungie, and it has really delayed a lot of their processes and their, of course, development on, projects like Destiny, as well as Marathon. Yeah, Marathon is, of course, their big new first-person shooter that was announced last year. It looks pretty cool, and it's really something else because over the past 10 years now, Bungie has really been just all about Destiny. That has been their only IP that they've been focusing any attention on, so Marathon is kind of a big deal in that it is supposed to be a sort of start of a new era for Bungie. But yeah, with all of these setbacks and of course with all of these layoffs recently, it is very apparent that we're probably not going to get the release of Marathon anytime soon. I believe it's already been delayed at least once. In fact, yeah, okay, I just looked into it. Yeah, Marathon was recently pushed back to 2025. So, I mean, I've already made multiple videos now on Bungie over really the past couple months now, and I ended my last video on Bungie basically being optimistic and saying, hey, they will bounce back, and of course, it can't get any worse than this. But boy, was I wrong. Okay, so this just came out earlier today, just a few hours ago. This is a new article by Bloomberg. Now, while everything in this Bloomberg article is, of course, alleged right now, none of it is technically official, it's worth noting that Bloomberg has great sources. They've kind of been historically right about these sort of expose reports and articles. It's not just, stuff they're throwing at the wall hoping to stick. No, they've got good sources, so unfortunately this is probably true. So this report was all talking about the former top director, basically the director of Marathon, named Christopher Barrett. So the thing to know about Christopher Barrett is that, like I said, he was the director of the ongoing Marathon game, but 5 months ago in March of 2024, March of this year, he resigned, or at least it was reported that he resigned from Bungie. And he was replaced by somebody who's actually pretty credible named Joe Ziegler. He is the former director of Valorant, and he actually joined Bungie a couple years ago too, so yeah, pretty good person to replace Christopher. So yeah, 5 months ago, Chris Barrett steps down, he resigns, whatever. Well, according to this article by Bloomberg, he didn't step down, he was actually fired due to misconduct allegations by at least 8 female employees of Bungie. Now, it sounds like all of these allegations of misconduct were basically under the umbrella of sexual harassment. He was allegedly making inappropriate comments to lower-level female employees. The allegations say that he would call them attractive, he would propose games of truth or dare, and apparently he would suggest to some of these female employees that he could advance their careers by using his position, I guess, to help with that. And he would also allegedly send them flirtatious messages. He would ask them to hang out outside of work. And yeah, overall, all of these alleged advances made toward these female workers created an uncomfortable work environment, so apparently there was an internal investigation by Bungie, and they found wrongdoing, and therefore they fired him in March, so he did not just step down on his own. Now, it could also be that he did step down on his own after, some sort of an agreement was made, like it could have been, hey, either you step down or you're gonna get fired. But Christopher Barrett also has responded to this already. He kind of gave the typical PR vague statement, basically saying, I always try to conduct myself well, and I'm sorry if any of my former comments have ever made people uncomfortable. It looks like Sony is not officially commenting on this as of right now. And yeah, back in March when Chris Barrett left Bungie, apparently a lot of the Bungie employees were kind of left in the dark. They didn't really know why he had left. But over time, word has kind of gotten around, and I guess it has now gotten to some of the sources at Bloomberg, hence the article that has been written today. So, I don't know what Chris Barrett is doing these days, but as far as Bungie goes, yeah, this is just kind of another thing for Bungie that is definitely not at all putting them in the best position. Obviously, this didn't just happen today. This happened 5 months ago, but now it's just coming out today. The story just broke, and it's getting a lot of traffic so far. A lot of people just calling him out and basically saying, if these allegations are true, it's just another unfortunate example of somebody using their power to not do good things and overall not represent the company in a great light at all. Because, like I said, yeah, Bungie already has its fair bit of challenges. Now, this only adds to it. I'm gonna say it again, I still think that Bungie can bounce back. I mean, this isn't the end of the world. It's awful that this did happen, and if the allegations allegations are true, I'm glad this guy is gone. But yeah, I'm gonna say it again, and I'm not trying to jinx anything, but Bungie, they can bounce back. I know they can. I still believe in Bungie. I still think they have a good footing. I mean, they have a good thing with Destiny, and I really do think that Marathon, whenever it comes out, it's gonna be great. It looks great so far. So while Bungie keeps catching L's, I really think there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I do think they will recover, but I'm not gonna say things can't get any worse. I'm no longer gonna say that. I could wake up tomorrow and there could be another story. Who knows?